Yo, welcome back, welcome to 7B. Brap! Got a great one for you. But before I start, I just want to clarify something. You know what it is? I'm going back a long way, yeah. You know, decades. And there's a lot to cover. And, you know, I do lose track and forget things. And I just want to clarify, when I was living in that car and my fucking old day I put fucking number plates at busies, yeah. I got grips, yeah, and I had to go on loads of ID parades in Bradford. You know, old style ID parades, right? When you pick people out, they used to pay them a tenner. And I felt like one of the usual suspects. But you know what it is? Didn't get out. So yeah, I just want to clarify that. I forgot to tell you at the end. But anyway, yeah, 7B. So anyway, let's crack on. So yeah, I'm in Holbeck in this Stonham, this charity housing, this house. And it wasn't ideal because you were always falling out over who wanted to watch what on TV. You know what I mean? These two blokes that I were with, they were into the footy and shit like that. And I'm not into my football, mate. I can't kick a football to save my life, man. They used to call me Spoonfoot at school and I would always last to get picked, you know what I mean? Fucking hate it. But anyway, but you know what it is? I had a roof over my head, so I suppose I was grateful. But yeah, you know what it is? But I ain't learnt my lesson yet. You know what I mean? I were getting into bother. What it is, yeah, I only started snorting subby. You know, this is a tablet called buprenorphine. That's its manufacturer's name. Sorry, Subutex is its manufacturer's name. Buprenorphine is the actual drug. And what it is, it's a synthetic opiate, but it's got a blocker in. And what it is, a blocker, like you've got receptor sites in your brain, right, that allow a dopamine and stuff like that. And what a blocker does, it blocks receptor sites so opiates can't get in. You know what I mean? But it's got opiates in it, right, which could go in. But if you smoke gear out, it doesn't do out. Anyway, if you crush this tablet up, right, and snort it, it has a really, really powerful effect on you, and you proper gouge. But I tell you what, I ended up getting a right habit on this. Ferocious, mate. You know what I mean? And there were like 3 floors of this flat thing, yeah. 3 lads on each floor. And I found out that there were like 3 nonces upstairs on top floor. And like I say, like no one likes a beast, do they? And I was giving them grief, you know what I mean? And staff, even though staff weren't on premises, right, I was getting into bother by them because they used to come every other day to check up on you. You know what I mean? So I was getting in grief, getting in trouble. Anyway, you know, like I said, I got to know this bloke, this weed dealer called Ada. He was sound, man. It was a bit strange, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anyway, I scored some weed off him one day. It was about 5 weeks into this house I was staying. And he said to me, he says, are you into your dimensions? I went, dimensions? He went, yeah, you into your, you know, other dimensions and stuff and spirit. I said, yeah, I'm a spiritual person, you know what I mean? I believe you've got a soul. And yeah, I suppose I am. He says, oh, by the way, yeah, if anyone tells you that you ain't got a soul, they're lying. You have. Your body's just a vehicle, yeah. Your soul, it's kept up here, yeah. See, you got something, a little piece inside your brain. It's like this little thing. It's called a pineal gland, and that's where your soul's kept. Yeah, where your third eye, right, your top chakra is. Yeah, that's where your soul is. Anyway, do you know what it is? I said, yeah, I suppose I'm a bit spiritual person. He went in a couple of weeks. He says, I'll come and get you. We'll go to mine. He says, I've got something to show you, something for you to try. I thought, oh yeah, right, whatever. You know what I mean? Anyway, you know what it is? I remember the day as if it were yesterday. Fucking mad day. So about 2 weeks later, you know what it is? I've gone to Morrison's, right, about 9 in the morning. I bought myself a 2-litre bottle of fucking Night Rider. Anyway, so I'm fucking walking briskly, right, wanted to get back home. And I fucking gone up pavement, started to cross the road, and there were a bus that had pulled into a bus stop to my right. And as I was walking, right, I've like poked my head round side of the bus to see if there any cars overtaking it. And I've carried on walking, yeah, I don't know. I want thinking. I've never done this before. And I didn't look left. Fuck me. I heard this fucking screech of brakes, bang! Fucking, this car's hit me, yeah. I've fucking been thrown in air, landed on bonnet, I've put windscreen through my shoulder, gone over the roof, slid down back windscreen and landed in an Epont road. So anyway, all this crowd of people from this bus stops have come round. Jarvis got out of the car, bottle of ciders in the road going. I mean, I'm in shock, me. I'm like that. So I fucking staggered over to this, fucking crawled over to this bottle of cider. I fucking cracked it open. I'm like that. Look, 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 look. You know what I mean? Calm myself down. And they were all like that. Ring an ambulance, ring an ambulance. They're all crowding around me. I says, I'm all right, I'm all right. Now, you know what it is, right? If I'd have seen that car coming, right, I'd have tensed up, yeah, and I'd have broken both tibia and fibia in each leg. Yeah, I'd have been fucked. The only reason what saved me here is because I didn't see the car coming. I heard screech at brakes, but I didn't see it coming, and I didn't have time to tense up. My body was limp. So, you know what I mean? I can't believe I didn't even break my shoulder bone. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, I felt sorry for the guy. I got up and brushed myself down, and I says, I'm all right, I'm all right. Anyway, I was walking off, and the guy says, what about me windscreen? And I looked at him, and I says, listen, mate, I says, I'm so sorry, mate, there's nothing I can do. I felt so sorry for him, he was gutted. Anyway, I fucked off back. Fucking hell. I talked lads about it. Anyway, later on that fucking afternoon, right, fucking hell, I got myself sorted out. I had a snort subby, right? I phoned Dad up, he's come down. Anyway, I've gone to his house, you know what I mean? And now, so we're walking into his house, and I said, right, what's this thing then you've got to, for me? Now, some of you out there, right, you might not remember head shops. What they were, right, there were these shops in town. They were called head shops, yeah? And what it was, right, back in late 90s, right, millennium, they'd synthesised cannabis, right? And so it was called spice. Yeah, you've heard about it, haven't you? Synthesised cannabis, and they also had this drug called methadone, which were like labelled as plant food. And the government, the establishment, hadn't classified these yet. They'd not been made illegal. Yeah, you could buy them. Like Black Mamba, like spice were called Black Mamba, and you got this methadone. I mean, I was never into my methadone, me and my fucking spice. I mean, I've tried it and that lot, but I wasn't really into it. Anyway, he's going on about this plant that you can buy from head shop, and he says it's called Salvia. Anyway, what it was on about, right, it was a South American plant called Salvia divinorum, right, and it's a psychedelic, right, and I'd never heard of it, me. Anyway, I said to Dad, I says, you know, you're talking to someone who's fucking injected LSD, don't you? And I says, I've done flying garret in mushrooms. I says, I've taken drugs to the limit, mate. I says, there's no you can teach me. I says, especially an head shop, you know, legal fucking drug. I thought, what? It'll be a load of shit. I thought, I don't even know why I'm wasting my time with this. Anyway, he says, no, he says, it's fucking mad. He says, you've got to try it. He says, but you'll be all right though. You know, it was like my mate before they did acid. He was like that all protective. He says, you'll be all right. He says, I'll look after you. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. I mean, I know my fucking drugs back to front, right? I mean, I even know fucking main ingredient of fucking nitol. Diphenhydramine hydrochloride. So, but I'd never heard of this plant. Anyway, you could get it in different strengths, 12 times strength, 24 times strength, 50 times strength. Yeah, I can't remember how much it was. He had 12 times strength. Anyway, so we got in his house, right? Anyway, I thought, this will be a fucking waste of time, this. Anyway, so I've sat on the sofa, right, and he's got this glass pipe out, right? And I've, what they call it, he's packed this in. It's you know, cannabis bush, homegrown. It's like a really leafy leafy stalky version of that, like dark green leaves. This plant from fucking South America. Anyway, it's put in pipe. Anyway, I'm sat on his sofa, right? I put pipe to my lips and I start sucking like it. Like that. Fuck me. You won't believe what happened, man. Like that, right? The floor of the living room disappeared, the ceiling disappeared, all the walls went folded down like a fucking cardboard box, just like that, instantly. And before you know it, I was just surrounded by blackness, just an empty void of the blackest black. I mean, it was like being in space, but with no stars and planets or sun. And I'm fucking looking about like this. And I look down, right, and I've no legs. What? No, I've no legs. Then I realise I've got no arms. And then I realise I've got no body. I was like, oh. And like, I knew I was like a human being, right? But I didn't know that I'd just done I was sat in someone's house on someone's settees and I'd smoked this Salvia. I didn't know that. I knew that I'd come from somewhere, but I didn't know where I'd come from, and I started to really panic because I thought to myself, fucking hell, if I don't know where I've come from, how can I get back to it? I thought, I got really confused, right? Anyway, I really started to fucking panic. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be stuck here forever. I don't even know where I didn't know who I am, what I wore, anything. I didn't know my own name or all. I didn't know fuck all. And you know what it is? I felt like I had a little pinprick of consciousness. Just a little tiny dot of consciousness. No body at all. And I'd left my body. Anyway, I mean, this would only happened over like 20 seconds, but it felt like 10 minutes. Anyway, all of a sudden, right, when I really started to fucking shit my pants, all the walls went, fucking floor reappeared, ceiling reappeared, boom, I was back in fucking flat. Oh my God, I fucking freaked out. I've got up, I'm like that with key door, fucking managed to open fucking door, I fucking run down steps and I fucking run off down the road. Anyway, Adder's come after me, chasing me. He's caught up with me, he's got me like that, he's got me back shoulder. He says, you're alright. He says, you're alright, you're back. You're back. He says, you're alright, you're alright. I went, fucking hell. I says, I can't believe what happened. He says, you left your body, didn't you? I says, fucking right, I did. I says, that worked most. I says, I just can't believe what's happened. I says, I can't believe you can fucking buy this stuff. I was thinking like, well, what if fucking kids can buy it? What if kids chilling out at Leeds and Liverpool Canal where locks are next to a busy road and they do this, they're going to get themselves killed. I couldn't believe you can buy it. It was the most amazing experience of my life. It was just amazing. And you know what it is? I finally proved that, you did have a soul and your body was just a vehicle. And you know what it is? It was years later, right? I was watching a YouTube documentary on it. And there was this professor talking about Salvia divinorum. And he says, when you get a person who hasn't had it before, he says, if they do a lot, he says they can actually leave the body and they become a pinprick of consciousness. And I remember watching it and thinking, yeah, that's what happened to me. Oh, it was fucking madness. It was mad. If you ever get a chance to try it, don't do it outside. And make sure someone's with you to look after you. It's fucking mental. You know what it is, right? We got back to the flat, right? It took me an hour and a half to pluck up courage to have a second pipe. An hour and a half, mate. Anyway, you know what it is? It's either, because I just had some, or it put less in. And this time I did it, yeah. It was fucking mad. It was like an hand had reached into my fucking centre of my head, right inside my brain. And my soul was getting pulled out at the back of my head. And my soul actually went out back of my head. And I felt like I was going back in this chair. And I can't have done enough of it because it was like an elastic band. It was like my soul stretched out at the back of my head and then it went back in. And I boom, I didn't actually leave my body, but I nearly did. Oh, it was fucking bonkers. So anyway, you know what it is? Like I say, I had a fucking raging subby habit. Anyway, I was getting in bother with fucking harassing nonsense upstairs and giving them evils. And I got done for shoplifting and I got recalled back to arm's length licence. I couldn't believe it. Fucking rattling my tits off. Anyway, you never guess who were on fucking yard. Only that fucking guy who had next binoculars for that nutcase from Rob's in basement. He were on yard, walking around yard. I thought, oh my fucking lord. You know what he were in for? He were in for ammunition. They'd found fucking bullets in his flat. 9mm fucking bullets. And he got a year for each bullet. I'll tell you what, I would undercover me. Fucking hell, I was like that in the corner at the yard, you know what I mean? I thought, if he spots me, I'm dead meat. But I got away with it. Anyway, you know what it is? I went to court, fucking magistrates. Stipendary. Stipendary is when there's just one judge instead of a bench. He didn't like me. Anyway, you know what it is? I suppose he did me a favour because he gave me like 8 weeks for shoplifting, right? But it run concurrent with licence, so I didn't have to do my licence and then do 8 weeks. I only had to do with my licence. So anyway, you know what it is? So I'm in court anyway. But what it was, right? I'd missed morning session, right? And judges, they're fucking lazy bastards, right? They have a like 2-hour dinner. They go on the dinner at 12 o'clock and don't come back. Afternoon court sessions don't recess till fucking 2 o'clock. Anyway, so I'm rattling my tits off in this fucking cell, yeah, kicking off, you know what I mean? Anyway, fucking, like I say, I goes before Beak. Anyway, I comes back, right? Anyway, fucking bus is late anyway. I'm starting to kick off me. Anyway, I fucking put loads. I've got this newspaper and I've shoved it down the toilet and I've flooded cell and I'm fucking booting Jigger. Boom, boom, boom. Get me back to fucking Armley. What you fucking doing? I says, I'm in the right fucking state in here. I was spewing up. I was fucking shitting myself. I was in the right fucking state. Fucking water all over the floor. Anyway, he says, bus is here. He says, anyway, he says, you're not going back to Armley. I went, what? He says, you're not going back to Armley, it's locked down, they're full up. He says, you're going on an overcrowding, Overspill to Doncaster. I says, you have got to be kidding me. You know what it is? 9 out of 10 times, you go back to the same wing and back to your pad. All my photos were on pinboard, all my clothes were neatly in locker right, all my fucking toiletries on display, bed neatly made, all my property, everything, all my letters, all my belongings, it were all in fucking pad in Armley. I'm like, oh my fucking God, you know what I mean? All my canteen, all my food, my noodles, my fucking scran, everything. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in fucking bits. Anyway, this fucking sweatbox comes and go to Donny. Now, it's first time I've been to Donny, but you know what it is? It's like a fucking young offenders jail. It's fucking horrible. There's loads of South Yorkshire lads there, right? Fucking Harrogate, Selby, fucking Huddersfield, fucking Cleck Huddersfax. Fucking hell. And do you know what? They don't like West Yorkshire lads. We don't get on. And I didn't like it at all, dodgy prison. You know what I didn't like about it? I'd done lots of jail, right? And I'd always eaten me food in my cell, you know, at my table. And you didn't at Donny. They had like tables and chairs bolted to the floor on wing, and you ate your food there, not in your pad. And I couldn't get used to it, mate. I just couldn't get my head around it. I didn't like it. And you know what it is? There were fucking loads of fights and carry on. Oh, I fucking hated it. Anyway, you know what it is? I'm still in a fucking rattling a mess. I'm fucking heads in bits. You know what it is, right? Listen to this. I ain't pad, right? And there's no kettles, right? But they've got tellies have just been introduced, so we got a telly. Anyway, it's Friday. So anyway, I said to Pad, mate, I was maybe showing off a bit, you know, being a bit bigger. I says, do you fancy a cup of tea, a cup of coffee? He went, well, we're not getting let out for water for a couple of hours. He says, how are you going to do that? I says, I'll make a kettle. He went, make a kettle? I says, yeah, watch this. Anyway, so I've made this jail kettle, yeah. And I put books up, filled cup with water, put it, submerged blades in it, and I flicked fucking switch. Click! Boom! Telly's gone off. I thought, oh no, I've blown electric. You see, in Armley, yeah? In Armley, right? The 2's landing, the 3's landing, and the 4's landing, yeah? The electric's running a ring of 9 pads. Yeah, there's 9 pads on ampage. And the box is outside your cell door, yeah? Where it trips. Now, the reason why it doesn't trip in Armley is because there's a lot of ampage, a lot of electricity, and it's running off a ring of 9 pads, and it doesn't trip out. You can boil water. But I didn't know this. I was in Doncaster. I didn't know that it run off a ring of 6. Oh, I've only gone on bloat electric. Friday night, and there were a boxing match on that night that everybody were waiting. Oh, right, they were all out at Glater. Glater's a window, by the way, it's prison term for window. They're all hanging out at Glater. Who's fucking blown electric? Oh, they're fucking kicking off, you know what I mean? They were going fucking mental. I thought, oh, that's it, I'm a dead man, that's it. I'm going to get fucking shit kicked out of me. I thought, what am I going to do now? Padmate were like, his head were in fucking bits, his head were on his hand like that. He says, oh, man, we're fucking telly, what we're going to do with that telly? And it were fucking bank holiday Monday as well. Yeah, so it blew Friday night, so we didn't have a telly Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and all day Monday. You know, it's in Armley, right, if it does blow, right, you get one at cleaners to stick a knife in between gapping electrical box and you can trip it back. But you didn't, oh, mate. Tell you what, I went out on association, right, next day, and I tell you what, when I say I had to watch my back, I had to have eyes in the back of my head. I didn't get a shower for fucking 2 weeks. Fucking hell, I tell you what, there were a group of lads, right, on fucking ground. I were on fucking second tier, yeah, looking over at fucking railings, right, fucking scanning about like that, and there were a group of them, right, and they were all congregated, they were all fucking pointing up at me like that. I thought, that's it, I'm going to get done in. Oh, do you know what it is? I had to fucking watch my fucking back. I fucking did. I had to be really careful. But you know what it is? I got away with it. But yeah, fucking back in prison again. But you know what it was, right? You know, I'll tell you something now. All prison I were doing, right, coming in and out. I want, even when telly's coming, you know what I mean? I didn't watch it much. You know what it is? I read. I thought to myself, well, if I'm in prison, right, I thought I'm gonna benefit from it in some way, best I can. And I was always at library. And you know what it is? I started to study near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences. I studied Christian testimonies. I studied any like spiritual book, meditation, your chakra, your third eye, all that stuff. Yeah, I read about like 7 books a week. I was always at library. I always had a stack of books in pad, and I remember I read a brilliant book. It was Bill Bryson. It was Bill Bryson who wrote it, right? He's an American, right? And it's called A Short History of Nearly Everything. And I wrote to Inside Times this paper, and I did a book review of it, and they printed it. Fucking yeah. You know what it is? I used to do my writing, my letters, right, and I used to read, and I got, you know what it is? My English really improved. You know what I mean? Because I'm reading so many books, right? I mean, I got to see it English at GCS anyway, but yeah. And you know what it is? I was getting I was learning a lot, and I was really benefiting from it. But you know what it is? There was more madness to come. So yeah. So anyway, the day come I got out of Doncaster, and that's the end of this chapter. Short one today, but listen, I hope you're all right. Take care out there, right? I'll see you in 8A. Respect.